experience for civil services. I teach international relations and internal security and the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will certainly help you to crack prelims as well as mains examination, because throughout my session I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases which will be very useful for you for prelims as well as mains examinations. So you can get into the mode of identifying the factual, analytical and conceptual questions for the preliminary examination, that is 2021. And by imbibing the keywords and the key phrases which I discussed throughout my daily news analysis, you can get into the mode of scoring higher marks while you inculcate the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing. Thereby it will be certainly useful for mains 2020 as well as prelims 2021 and mains 2021. So do follow my session completely, that is AKS IAS Academy daily news analysis, and do get benefited by my session of AKS IAS Academy. And this is in regards to the DNA, that is daily news analysis, and I would be taking up the daily news analysis of 12th October 2020. And before I get into the topic or the daily news analysis, we would look at the quote of the day, and the quote of the day is: the size of your audience doesn't matter, keep up the good work. So you might be in a position that you have started your preparation, or it's been 1 year or 2 years, but not much of takers from you. But definitely once you get the service, once you are into a bureaucrat, certainly you will have a good amount of size, that is the audience. So don't matter, but just keep up the good work. And before I get to the topic, I would say a very good morning to everyone. Good morning to all, and also good morning to the one who are in the live and also in the live chat. So very good morning to Ram Sunil also. And now we will look into the daily news analysis of the Hindu newspaper, wherein the Union Health Minister Harshvardhan has made it very clear that there would be a paper strip test that is called as Feluda paper strip test. So this is the one which is already existing, and this is added to the one which is already existing. That is, you have the various tests which have been conducted to identify the SARS-CoV-2 infection or to diagnose the SARS-CoV-2 infection, and the one which is now the Union Health Ministry is definitely in a position to roll out the test for the SARS-CoV-2 diagnosis is Feluda paper strip test. So this is a keyword, please do keep it in mind, which is this is a strip test which is a paper one, and this has been developed by CSIR and IGIB, that is in regards to the Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, and then CSIR both have developed this, and it was approved by the DCGI, that is Director Controller General of India, and this have been developed and approved by DCGI, and this is for approval of the commercial launch of the Feluda paper strip test for SARS-CoV-2, and this test will have 96% sensitivity and 98% of specificity. Now comparing with the earlier one, that is the previous test, that is the one which is actually taken into consideration, which is having the 95% sensitivity and 99% specificity, is the RT-PCR test kit. So reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction test kit is being used for 95% sensitivity and 99% specificity. Now we have the one which is being rolled out commercially by the Union Health Ministry, and that is called as Feluda paper strip test. And then definitely the Health Ministry has spoken about the prioritization of the groups which will actually have this Feluda paper strip test, and they have considered into two key consideration. They have taken into situation that who will be the prioritization of the groups for the COVID-19 vaccine also. So COVID-19 vaccine. So here we are not talking about the test, we are talking about the COVID-19 vaccine. And once the COVID-19 vaccine is in the market, so definitely it will be taking into consideration of two key areas. that is the occupational hazard and risk exposure to infection. So the one who are actually into the occupation and who are having a high risk of exposure to the SARS-CoV-2 infection because of the occupational, because of the job, because of the way they are getting very close to proximity to the people. It could be the frontline workers, district officials or the police officers. So they would be taken into consideration in regards to prioritization of the groups for the COVID-19 vaccine. So for the first one is occupational hazard and risk of exposure to infection, and the other one is, the other key consideration is risk of developing severe disease and increased mortality. So wherever there is high risk of the disease spreading and wherein there is more of increasing mortality, that is death cases, so there it will be taking into consideration. The two prioritization groups would be taken into consideration for the COVID-19 vaccine. So here we have looked at two things. One is in regards to the test and one is in regards to the vaccine. So to understand this is the way we need to identify the keywords in the daily news analysis. And before I get into the topic, next slide, I would say a very good morning to Shiv Prasad Tota, and then Chilkapati Srinivaslu, and then Pandangi also. A warm welcome to everyone for the AKS IAS Academy daily news analysis. And the COVID-19 vaccine, which is now currently being taken up trials in India, we have two kinds of vaccine, that is in regards to the 2 doses one and 3 doses one. And the 2 doses one are the one which are taken up by pharmaceutical called as Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech. So these are the one which require 2 doses, and the one which is also going ahead with the vaccine is the Cadila Healthcare. Here in this case, the Cadila Healthcare vaccine, it requires 3 doses. So definitely now the trial which has been taken up is in regards to the 2 doses and 3 doses, and the 2 are for the Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech, and the 3 doses which have been administered is by Cadila Healthcare vaccine. And definitely Harshvardhan, the health minister, has made it very clear that what is the amount that the central government is actually has released to the states and union territories to battle the pandemic as of now is 3,000 crores of rupees, which is part of the first phase. So definitely the central government is in tandem, in coordination with the states and the union territories to battle the COVID-19 pandemic situation, and it has released 3,000 crores of rupees. And there was criticism in regards to the Ayush formulation. So Ayush formulation, that is in regards to the treatment of the COVID-19 disease, and that criticism what has been made is been responded by the Union Health Ministry, that is Harshvardhan, saying that definitely the Gudichi and then Ashwagandha, Gudichi and Pipali combination and Ayush 64, all these combinations, that is the formulations, have definitely the substantial number of studies which are in the mode of proving immunomodulatory and then antiviral and then antipyretic and anti-inflammatory. So this is very clear that the Ayush formulation which is being taken into consideration to go ahead with the treatment of COVID-19 pandemic situation, the health ministry has treated, or he has made a statement saying that all this formulation or the combinations are definitely immunomodulatory, antiviral, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory properties. That means definitely there is a positiveness that it could fight against the COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 and then make sure that the COVID-19 patients would be recovered by the Ayush formulation. So the keyword here is Ayush formulation also. And if you look at this paper strip test which is called as Feluda, as we discussed, it is developed by CSIR and then in regards to the IGIB, that is Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, and this, if you look at it, will cost around 500 to 600 rupees, and this has been approved by DCGI for the commercial launch. And then now how the test will be taken up in regards to the paper strip Feluda is, it will be either saliva or bloods, but saliva is preferred for testing in regards to the paper strip Feluda test. and definitely now this kit will take 45 minutes to go ahead with coming up with the result. But in comparison to the RT-PCR is 1.5 hours. So that is in regards to, which is now the paper test would be taking less amount of time compared to RT-PCR. And definitely the TrueNAT, which is now in the testing condition, which takes 60 minutes. So the one which is very less consuming time for the diagnosing of the SARS-CoV-2 infection in the infected person is the paper strip test of Feluda, which is only 45 minutes, and then TrueNAT is 60 minutes, and here it is 1.5 hours, that is almost 90 minutes. And this is almost equal, or it is similar to a pregnancy color code test. So the same kind of pregnancy test which has been which is actually being taken up by the strip, the same kind is being considered here also, making sure that you will have a 2 lines for the positive result and 1 line in the case of negative results. Please do understand, 2 lines for positive and then 1 line for the negative result, same as like pregnancy test. So here this is a nucleic acid test and not a protein one. So this is also very important for an conceptual understanding. Which among the following, or else the paper strip test Feluda is a nucleic test and not a protein test based one. So that statement is correct statement. It is not a protein based, but it is a nucleic acid test. If the statement is like it is a protein based and not a nucleic acid test, so that is wrong. It is not a nucleic acid test and not a protein based, even that is wrong. But what is right in regards to the paper strip Feluda test is it is a nucleic acid test and not a protein based test. So this way you need to focus for the prelims 2021. And then you have another news which talks about blue flag for Kasargod and Padubidri beaches. So these 2 beaches are in Karnataka, and then these 2 beaches which are among the 8 in India which have been coveted as an eco label, that is blue flag, from the International Agency Foundation for Environment Education, that is from Denmark. So an agency which is an international agency called as Foundation for Environment Education, from which is based in Denmark, has come up with this eco label blue flag, and then the 2 beaches in Karnataka have been bagged the eco label blue flag, and they are part of the entire 8 in India. So total there are 8, and in Karnataka there are 2, and these 2 are Kasargod beach and then Padubidri beach, and then Kasargod is in Hunavar in Uttara Kannada, and then Padubidri beach is in Udupi district. And what is that these beaches have the importance is that they have the grey water treatment plants, they have solid waste management plants, they have disabled friendly equipment for the disabled people to enable them to enter into seawater, and then you also have the seating arrangements, clean drinking water, washrooms, changing rooms, and also bathing facilities also provided, and disabled friendly and general toilets, and also the parking facilities, and then solar power points. So why am I stressing on these 11 points is that you can add this as a short notes in regards to the blue flag, in regards to the blue flag project, for the mains examination. So these are the one which are part of the blue flag eco label beaches which are being bagged in India, that is the 8. And the Union Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is the one which is actually into this, the program which is being taken up, and that is the program which is being taken up is the blue flag certification for 13 beaches. So it has identified 13 beaches, that is the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Out of the 13 beaches, the international agency has picked up 8, and which are the 8? That is Shivrajpur, beach, which is Dwaraka, Gujarat, Ghogla, which is Dio, and the third one is Kapat, Kerala, fourth is Rishikonda in Andhra Pradesh, fifth is Golden Beach, that is in Puri, Odisha, and the sixth one is Radhanagar, seventh is Kasargod, eighth is Padubidri, which is in Karnataka. So definitely the 8 are the one which have been identified or which has been bagged from the Blue Flag certification program, which is being taken up by the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change out of 13 beaches. And this Blue Flag beach, what is the Blue Flag beach? So definitely you need to understand, because there could be a question, which among the following statement in regards to the Blue Flag beach is incorrect. So you need to understand that. So it is an ecotourism model. It is an ecotourism model which provides tourists clean and hygienic bathing water. It provides facilities and various amenities. It also provides safe and healthy environment and sustainable development of the area. So 4 areas are taken into consideration, which is part of the ecotourism model, which is called as Blue Flag beach. And any beach would be considered as a Blue Flag beach when it has a tourist clean and hygienic bathing water, various facilities and amenities, safe and healthy environment and sustainable development of the area. So do understand the keyword, that is Blue Flag beach, which will be very crucial for the prelims 2021 as well as mains 2020. And this certification is awarded by the Denmark based agency, and that agency considers 33 criteria to identify a beach as a Blue Flag beach, and that 33 criteria are being segregated into 4 major heads, that is 4 major heads. Among the 4 major heads you have the 33 stringent criteria. So which among the one is not the part of the criteria for the Blue Flag beach? Also you can get the answer. Or which among the following are not the 4 major heads? And the 4 major heads are in regards to the environmental, educational and information, bathing water quality, environment management and conservation, safety and services in the beaches. So these are the major heads which are being considered by the Denmark based international agency to recognize a beach as a Blue Flag beach. Environment, education and information, bathing water quality, environment management and conservation, safety and services in the beaches. If all these are there and along with the 33 criteria, if they are met, then it would be bagged or it would be labeled or it will be termed as a Blue Flag beach. D. Suvarna is also joined. A warm welcome to you to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And now we'll get into the another news which talks about sanitizers soaps can do damage. So experts are talking about the ill effects also because of high usage of sanitizers and soap can do damage, they say. So what is that? The health experts from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, they say that, or they are warning that increased use of, that means excessive use of antibodies and widespread use of hand sanitizers and microbial soaps, these 3, that is excessive use of antibodies and then widespread use of hand sanitizers and antimicrobial soaps during the COVID-19 pandemic situation can worsen the situation of antimicrobial resistance. So what is the keyword here that you need to take it into consideration for application part of it? That is, antimicrobial resistance would be decreased or it would be lowered by excessive use of antibodies, widespread usage of hand sanitizers and antimicrobial soaps. And this was actually said by the health experts, which was at a webinar which was organized by AIMS and American Society for Microbiology. And what was the webinar on? It was on antibiotic resistance, renewed fight. Antibiotic resistance, renewed fight against COVID-19 pandemic situation, and they make it very clear that antibiotic resistance organisms are become rigidly established in the environment, with many infections falling to respond to antimicrobials. That means the antibiotic resistant organisms. So there are various organisms which are into the mode of getting into antibiotic resistance. That means they will have resistance, or they can resist, the organism or the microorganism can resist even to the antibiotic. Because of excessive use of the antibiotics, the particular microorganism gets resistance, or it is resisted even after usage of the antibiotic. That means it becomes antibiotic resistant organism, and these are becoming very much high in the environment with many infections. And once the organism becomes antibiotic resistance, that microorganism, it could be virus or bacteria, then it is failing to respond to antimicrobials. So definitely it is a cause of concern that was raised during the webinar, which was jointly organized by AIMS and American Society for Microbiology. And this webinar was on antibiotic resistance renewed fight. And this antibiotic resistance is the biggest challenge in the modern medicines, because everyone is going ahead with the antibiotics. Then what happens is that particular microorganism becomes antibiotic resistance, and that is the biggest challenge. And the antimicrobial resistance, AMR, is definitely mounting problems beyond geographical as well as spatial barriers, and it can transmit from animals to humans. So we know that as many of the viruses are the zoonotic, that means animals, it has originated, and then from the wild animals to domestic animals, or from domestic animals further to the humans. And antimicrobial resistance should be addressed totally by all sectors, that is by the health sector, veterinary and agriculture. So definitely it is from animals to humans, and there is a possibility when we are talking about agriculture, it could be from plants to animals. Please do understand this concept. Not only from animals to plants to humans, or it could be again plants to animals once they they consume the particular plants, and from there it could be again leading to humans. So this is what the antimicrobial resistance and the health experts in the webinar has raised the concern. And Kiran Maladi has joined. A warm welcome to you, Kiran, to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And there is another news which talks about school closures may cost India dear. So definitely because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation, and because of the lockdown, and because of the health issues, health concerns, the schools are shut down. And because of this, the World Bank has come up with a report, and this is very crucial, because I have been telling you since almost the beginning that all the reports taken up by the World Bank or ADB or International Monetary Fund and various organizations, also you need to keep a track of it for the preliminary examination point of view. So here in regards to the World Bank report, and that report titled as Beaten or Broken, Informality and COVID-19. So the title of the World Bank report, for especially focusing on South Asia. So this report taken up, or report which has been conducted, and then it has been titled as Beaten or Broken, Informality and COVID-19 to the South Asian region. And then it says that the extended closure of the schools because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation will definitely hinder, will definitely dent. What it will dent? It will cause damage to the India's future earnings. This is a keyword. So the closures of the school would have impact on the Indian future earnings. How much earning it is in regards to the 420 billion to 600 billion US dollars because of the depleting learning levels of students, which will translate or which will make sure that it will further escalate into a poorer productivity. Definitely the productivity of the learning of the students will decrease and it will impact the India's future earnings. It is not only in regards to knowledge but in regards to the economy also. It will impact 420 to 600 billion US dollars, and definitely because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation in South Asia, 5.5 million students have dropped out of the school, and this is it will have a major impact on the students' knowledge, on the way they think, their thinking capacity, and then the way they actually also make sure that it will impact their future earnings also. And definitely these dropouts are combined with substantial learning losses. Not only the economy will be impacted or future earnings, but also the learning of the students will also be lost, especially the South Asia, focusing on the 622 billion US dollars earnings, and gross domestic product will have its impact because of the dropouts from the South Asian 5.5 million students. And this figure might climb further, that is in regards to the future earnings in regards to the entire South Asia might increase from 622 billion US dollars to 880 billion dollars. Why? Because of the dropouts of the school, and it will have a lifetime impact of the school closures, both on the productivity and the generation of students, of this generation of the students. So definitely it will impact the productivity of this generation of students. Look at it, the COVID-19 pandemic situation and its impact or lifetime impact on the pupil or the students. There could be a question in the mains. COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on and its lifetime impact on the students. So you can mention there the World Bank report and the various other information also. And then now we will look at the far-reaching impact because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation and the closure of the schools onto the India's future earnings, and also in regards to the dropouts or the productivity, learning capacity of the students. The South Asian government spends only 400 billion a year for the primary and secondary education in the entire South Asia, and it will have its negative impact, that is loss on the economic output, which would be substantially higher. Look at it, it is 400 billion US dollar that is the government is spending on the primary and secondary education, but it will have its impact on the economic output or the gross domestic product. It might increase up to 800 billion US dollar, from 600 to 800 billion US dollars. So spending is comparatively low, but its loss would be higher. Its loss would be very higher, and this regional loss is largely driven by India, because India will also lose its GDP. Future increase in the revenue will be lost even from the Indian side, and India has a major chunk in the South Asia, and the average child in South Asia may lose 4,400 US dollars lifetime earning because of the closure of school during the COVID-19 pandemic situation. Look at it, this is the very important key phrase which you can put it in your short notes. So average child in South Asia may lose 4,400 US dollars in lifetime earning once having entered into labor market. That means once he enters into labor market, starts working, it would impact him the 4,400 US dollars lifetime impact, and it is equivalent to 5% of the total earnings once he gets into the labor market. And this will have a far-reaching consequences, because it will have its impact not only on the business, but it will have impact on the consumption patterns, that is in regards to the eating, and then in regards to the social hardship on poor and vulnerable households, and it will have impact on the urban migrants and informal workers. So definitely the far-reaching impact is onto the business, is onto the consumption patterns, and onto the social hardships on poor and vulnerable households, and on the urban migrants and the informal workers. So definitely the children who are out of the school, approximately now almost it is 5 to 6 months, and this will make sure that it will not only stop. So look at it, this impact of the children who are out of the school for 5 to 6 months, it not only stop learning new things, definitely they will stop learning new things. Not only that, they will also forget what they have already learned, and this is the greatest negative impact onto the individuals or the pupil learning productivity, and that will further escalate towards the economy or economic output, and also to the gross domestic product also, GDP also, that is in regards to India and also to the South Asia itself. So this is very crucial information. Do understand and make a note of it, because it could be used in the as a short notes in the mains examination. That is the COVID-19 pandemic situation and its far-reaching impact on the pupil, on the far-reaching impact on the students, that is in regards to the economic output and the productivity, learning productivity output on the pupil. Kishore has joined. A warm welcome to you, Kishore. Ram Kumar, a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And now we will look at another news which talks about China backs Iran nuclear deal. So we definitely know that there is a kind of tension which is prevailing because of the Quad and because of the Malabar exercise, which would certainly be taken up in the month of November, and we had the Quad meeting which has taken place in Tokyo, so which is not really liked by China and Russia, and definitely they have criticized that it is a kind of a US NATO in Asia. So at this time, when China is not having good relations with US, and further US and China have the trade war, and India and China also have the skirmish or face off along the LAC in the eastern Ladakh between India and China. So at this juncture, or else even in regards to the PASEX or Malabar exercise, and then in regards to the Quad meeting and the Philippines Sea, entire the PASEX which has taken place, now China is trying to get very close to West Asia, or China is trying to look at West Asia, and then they wanted to definitely, that is China's foreign minister Wang Yi has called for a new forum to diffuse this tension, that is to make sure that it would play a vital role in diffusing, that means it making sure that whatever the tensions are being prevailing now in West Asia, China would take a lead role as a global leader, and then it would make sure that it would diffuse the tensions in the West Asia, especially after meeting with the Iranian counterpart. Beijing has reiterated its support to Iran, and definitely both the foreign ministers have reaffirmed their commitment to the Iran nuclear deal 2015. So this nuclear deal, which has been concluded in 2015 by the then US President Barack Obama, but which was again the US has pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal, that is P5+1 countries, which they have come up with the Iran nuclear deal under the presidency of US, that is Donald Trump, which they have pulled out, which he has pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal. So at this situation, when US has pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal, now China is backing the Iran's nuclear deal. Look at the way there is certainly a tit for tat in various issues, and then China is definitely backing the countries wherein US is not really having a good relations with those particular countries, not only in regards to the US trying to pull out of the Iran's nuclear deal, but US has also imposed economic sanctions on Iran. We have looked at US has also imposed, US along with UN has imposed economic sanctions on Russia, and then China has looked at Russia, and further Russia has looked at China, and now China and Russia are both allies. And then when US has imposed economic sanctions on Russia, China has tried to help Russia in regards to building up its economy. So look at it, China is definitely trying to diffuse tensions now in West Asia, trying to have its further commitment in regards to the Iran's nuclear deal. And then Iran has been locked in an angry and bitter relationship with Saudi Arabia. We know that Saudi Arabia is definitely inclined towards the US, and then Iran is having a bitter relationship with Saudi Arabia or various other major West Asian powers, especially because of the war which is being in Yemen, and the Iran influence in Iraq and Saudi Arabia for Washington, that is US sanctions on Iran. So definitely we are looking at a scenario wherein China is getting into the mode of trying to back the countries which are actually not maintaining, or US is trying to go ahead with unilateral decisions against those countries and impose economic sanctions on those countries. China is trying to get closer to those countries, especially now in West Asia, that is with Iran. And China certainly not just trying to diffuse the tensions in West Asia and then backing up the Iran nuclear deal of 2015, but China also proposes to build a regional multilateral dialogue platform. So this platform, what the China is trying to develop regionally in West Asia with equal participation of all stakeholders. So what US has gone ahead was in regards to the unilateral decision in regards to the Iran nuclear deal, of 2015. But now if you look at, China is going ahead with the regional multilateral. This is the main difference. Unilateral, which USA has taken up, now China is taking up the multilateral dialogue. So this is where China is trying to project itself as a global leader, wherein it can be in a position to diffuse the tensions in West Asia and then back Iran in the regards to the US pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal and imposing economic sanctions on Iran. And then this forum would enhance mutual understanding through various dialogues. So mutual understanding, this is a keyword here. Mutual understanding is a keyword, and then multilateral dialogue platform is a keyword. And these are all very, very important while you are writing, or while you are writing an answer in the mains examination. These keywords, that is regional multilateral dialogue platform, or mutual understanding, enhance mutual understanding. These keywords are crucial and they have to be present. They have to be part of your answer in the mains examination. Through dialogue and explore political and diplomatic solutions. Though they are just not trying to go ahead with the unilateral decisions the way US has taken up in regards to the Iran nuclear deal, and also in regards to the climate change, pulled out of the Paris climate change COP21, Conference of Parties of Paris Climate Change 2015. Not that way, but China is proposing a multilateral dialogue platform, enhance mutual understanding, and explore political and diplomatic solutions to security issues in West Asia. Look at it, China is now definitely playing as a global leader in regards to having or creating a kind of security concerns, and wherever there are security issues in the West Asia, it will try to make sure that it has a multilateral dialogue platform, enhance mutual understanding, explore political and diplomatic solutions, so that to resolve the security issues, and definitely the foreign minister has supported, or foreign minister of China has supported Iran nuclear deal, which was negotiated by the then Obama administration, and it was abandoned by Donald Trump, would be precondition of entry to the forum. So definitely the Iran nuclear deal, which was abandoned by the Donald Trump, when even he has taken over as the president of US, and now these are all the precondition for China to enter into the forum, wherein it is definitely trying to create a sense of feeling that it is a global leader to resolve the security issues in West Asia. So certainly the topics what we have discussed, now we will recapitulate it. So when we are recapitulating it, you need to understand that how best we are focused for the mains 2020 as well as prelims 2021. So this is in regards to the health, wherein we are focused in regards to the test, and also we are focused in regards to the vaccine, 3 doses and 2 doses vaccine. And this is in regards to the blue flag project, and this is again in regards to the current affairs for the prelims point of view and also mains point of view, because there could be a question on the blue flag project. And this is again in regards to the health, wherein we are focused that how the excessive use of the antibiotics, sanitizers or soaps can make that the microbial or the microorganisms would be antibiotic resistance, who the microorganisms. And then this we have looked at in regards to the COVID-19 pandemic impact on the economy, and also the productivity of the students, especially in India and South Asia. So this is again very important, because certainly you need to get into the mode of how this will be useful for prelims as well as mains examination. And this is in regards to again international relations, which we would be taking up this as a dynamic part, current affairs, that which would be fitting into the current affairs. So here the point is New West Asia Forum. The keyword here is New West Asia Forum. So certainly the daily news analysis at AKS IAS Academy has provided an informative, knowledgeable session to everyone, that is to all the civil servant aspirants, in regards to the mains 2020 as well as prelims 2021. So I would say a very big thank you and best of luck to you all. And then do like the video, share the video and subscribe the video of AKS IAS Academy, and also visit the AKS IAS Academy website, and then do join or subscribe the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy, that is Advanced Knowledge System. And then see you tomorrow at 7:30 AM for the daily news analysis. And I would again reiterate my sentence, that is, do follow consistency, do maintain consistency, and then do stick to your schedule, and then take care of your physical health and mental health, so that you will attain your short-term goals and also long-term goals. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow at 7:30 AM for the